This video will walk you through the basics of creating compelling stories using Visart. What is our business challenge? What do we want to show our users? Who is our target audience? What does our data look like? These are some of the points we need to consider before we start creating brilliant dashboards. Every visualization should tell a story. Like every story, each chart and diagram has its own purpose and structure. We need to consider their use when choosing which types to use in our dashboard. Our blog posts, tutorial videos, and user guide are useful resources that can help you choose. Let's start with importing data and creating a dashboard. When you first log into your Visart account, you will be immediately forwarded to the applications page. From here, we can see a list of all dashboards under this account. In this example, we will be using this CSV file. It's a sample HR data and includes various types of data such as numeric, text, and date. First, we need to begin by uploading it to Visart. To do this, we need to go to Import Data and select from one of the upload methods. Visart supports CSV, XLSX, and Power Pivot formats. Alternatively, we can also connect to a web or analysis service to upload data. Please note that if you're using an XLSX file, you will also need to enter a definition range. Regardless of import selection, we also need to assign this data to a group. Groups are an extra security layer which allow you to make dashboards only available to certain users. We're going to talk more about groups later. When the upload is complete, we can start creating visualizations. On the dashboard, we can add various types of visualizations from the Insert menu. Let's start with adding a grid. To do this, I'm going to select Grid from the Insert menu. Grids are useful for reviewing data and presenting it in a table format. We first select the data columns from the list on the left-hand side. You can use Shift or Control buttons to make multiple selections. And then we need to press the arrow button to move them to the right. When we have all the desired fields, we need to press Save to add it to our dashboard. Next, let's add a text box. To do this, we need to select text box from the Insert menu. A text field can be used for creating titles or information boxes. They can also include images. All we need to do is copying the image and pasting it into this box. We can move around these windows by clicking on the top corner and just dragging them around. We can add charts into our dashboard from the same menu. We first select the chart type from the drop-down and then start adding data by selecting data fields and pressing Add to. Please note that data field types and other selections will vary based on your chart selection. In the Available Data Fields window, numeric data is shown with a tiny bar chart, whereas text data is shown with the letter A. Date fields are shown with a tiny calendar. The default expression for all numeric fields is count. We can give these fields a different expression by selecting them first and then choosing from the dropdown. The Layout tab includes chart-specific options. Let's give our chart a name. We can change the title, label, bubble, and legend settings from the Format tab. We must first select an option to make any desired changes. The Legend tab allows for editing the colors and names of the selected data fields. Now we can press save to add this chart to our dashboard. Visart also features various types of diagrams. Diagrams are specialized visualizations that can offer different perspectives to certain types of data. Just as in charts, we need to select the type from this drop-down menu. Let's add a circle packing diagram. This diagram is best for visualizing a hierarchy or inclusive fields. The order that we add data to the right is important because the first field will be the outer layer and the rest will follow. Then we need to select an expression for the measure field. Diagrams feature layout and format tabs similar to their counterparts in charts. Here, we can change the text options for the labels or the bubbles that will appear when we hover our mouse over the data fields. When ready, we press save to add a diagram. We can see that there is a bit of a congestion here on the x-axis of this chart. Let's try fixing that by editing it, clicking on this pencil icon here. I go to the format window, go to x-axis label, and then change the orientation to 45 degrees. Now we can see all the labels here. Visart has more than 900 area, county, state, and city maps to choose from. To add maps, we need to go to the Insert menu and select Map. Then, we need to select a map type and move on to the next step to select our data. The first field is the area names. Please make sure that your data adheres to the International Naming Convention for area names, or some fields may not appear correctly on the map. Next, we select Data field and give it an expression. Layout, Format, and Legend tabs work the same way as they do in charts and diagrams. We can also choose to change the legend type to manual from the Legend tab. When ready, we press Save to add this map. Next, let's insert a pivot table. Again, I go to Insert and select Pivot. This time, we need to select an expression for all of these fields individually. When ready, press Save. Practically, there is no limit to the number of visualizations we can place within a dashboard. However, as our canvas gets more and more congested, it might be a good idea to add a new tab. To do this, I go to Insert and select Tab. Giving our tab a name, I press Save, and we get a new blank canvas. Now that all our visualizations are ready, we might also want to add a filter or two to slice and dice into our data. To do this, I go to Insert and select Filter. We start by giving our filter a name, and then selecting our data field, and then selecting a filter type. We can make all filters we add to be grouped by activating this option. Please note that all filters will apply to all visualizations within a dashboard by default. If we want them to apply to specific visualizations, we need to activate this option and select them here. When ready, press save. This filter will only apply to the visualizations we've selected. If you want to remove the filter, simply press clear filter. Now that our dashboard is ready, let's take a look at how we can convey them to our users. The first option is to share individual visualizations. Clicking the embed icon on a visualization will automatically generate a code that can be placed on a website. The embedded visualization will be fully interactive. Let me demonstrate this with an example. First, we need to save the dashboard. And then we copy this code into our HTML page. Visart also allows for downloading the underlying data in a chart. When we press the export button, we're going to get only the portion of the data that is in this visualization. Download button will allow you to download the chart visual in an image or PDF format. Now let's see how we can share the complete dashboard. I'm going to go back to the control panel and save this dashboard. We also have the option to share this whole dashboard. To do this, we need to go to Share Application. You can see that there are two tabs here. One is the Users tab and the other is the Links tab. Right now, there are no users under this account, so no users appear in this list. Let's go to the Links tab. Here, we can choose to make this application public. To do this, we need to choose Public from this dropdown and press Create Link. Now, anyone who has access to this URL will be able to access this dashboard when we hit Save Changes. Public dashboards will have this P icon next to them. To make this dashboard only available to certain users, we can go to the same page and press Remove Link. Let's see how we can create new users. To do this, we need to go to the Users tab in the control panel and click Add a User. After filling out the information fields, we also need to assign this user a user role. We can choose between three options. Limited users only have access to dashboards, but they can't change anything on the dashboards. Standard users can edit and upload new dashboards. Admin users will have access to everything. We then need to assign this user to a group. Now this test user will appear on the Share tab when we go to the application settings. If we move this user to the right by making a selection here first, this user will have access to this dashboard. Let's take a closer look at groups. Remember, we assigned this dashboard to a group. The same thing is true for all users. All users need to be assigned to a certain group. Users who belong to the same group as the dashboards can access those dashboards. This is simply an extra layer of security that will allow you to limit access to dashboards. Groups can be managed from the Users menu. To do this, we go to the Users tab and press Manage Groups. Here's the default group. To add a new group, we need to press Add a New Group. Enter a group name and choose to place it under another group or create as a new group. It is possible to form a hierarchy by creating sibling and children groups. The data that has been imported to the control panel can be found under the Data tab. From here, we can select one of the datasets and then create a new application using that dataset, or delete them by pressing this icon. Next is the My Account tab. Here we can edit our user information, change our password, or upgrade our account type. Analytics page is only available to admin users. This page keeps a log of all user activity, recording when a dashboard has been accessed, edited, or removed. This also applies to the Data tab.